Hey everyone. I'm jumping in to talk about skin issues today. Are you someone who is struggling with your skin? And I'm not just talking about your face. I'm not talking about just the pimples or breakouts or acne that you might experience on your face. I'm also talking about the breakouts on your back, or maybe the rashing in your armpits, or maybe that like itchy, raw, patchy rash that can happen underneath your breasts or in your bikini line. Or let's talk about the pimples and acne on your butt cheeks, right? Let's talk about maybe the rashing or psoriasis type rashes that are happening on your elbows. I'm talking about skin issues as a whole today, and they can present in a lot of different ways. But the one thing that you have to understand is they all connect back to your gut. And so let's unpack that. And, when we're unpacking skin issues, we have to first, call out something that's not super accurate. You see, a lot of people think that their skin issues are because of their hormones, or they think their skin issues are because of allergies. And that's actually not really the case. You see, hormones or hormone imbalances are just another symptom. Hormones are chemical communicators, and it's not likely that it's a hormone issue. It's something even deeper that may be actually contributing to hormone imbalances, but hormone imbalances themselves don't cause symptoms. There are other underlying damage, deficiencies, and infections that are causing not just hormone imbalances, but potentially also skin issues. You see where I'm going with this? So we have to go a lot deeper. So this is why your skin breakouts are actually unrelated to your hormones. There's something much deeper you need to look at, and we're going to talk about that today. But let's also talk about allergies. I suppose there are a few scenarios where there may be an allergic reaction. You might experience this if you put something topically on your skin and there's a very real reaction that occurs. Okay, sure, right? But that's not the type of rashing we're talking about today. The type of rashing we're talking about is the type of skin issues that you're experiencing on a consistent basis, right? Again, consistent breakout on the face or back or armpits, bikini lines, elbows, wherever those breakouts and rashes may be occurring, skin issues that are consistent or intermittent, meaning they're coming and going, but they seem to always come back, is not really going to be allergy related, okay? So that's why we have to go a little bit deeper. But the thing that we have to first understand is how the hell the gut works, right? Like if we don't have that basic understanding, then we can easily get caught up in thinking, oh, it must be my hormones, or oh, it must be these allergies, or we're looking for something, surface or outside of ourselves that are creating these reactions. And it's actually something much more foundational in the function of your gut. So there's two main functions that your gut is going to do. And this is like real big picture, broad, overlooking at the function of the gut. So the first function is it is designed to break down and absorb nutrients. Okay, so I always like to look at the gut kind of like the gas tank, if you will, of your car, right? It has and holds all of the nutrients, and it gets distributed to all of the different systems in your car, in your body, that require fuel or energy to be able to function, right? So if we think about all of the different systems in our body, like our hormonal system, our cardiovascular system, right? All of these different systems that we have inside our body are going to require nutrients to function. And so your gut is again going to digest, break down, and absorb those nutrients that we take in from our foods and then distribute them to the rest of our body. Now, if we're running into issues with the function of any of our systems, then this is why it all connects to our back, back to our gut. And again, this is just a real basic kind of overview. Now, the second function, and this is the function that not many people focus on, or it easily gets missed. I think on some basic level, most people understand that this is present in their body, but they totally forget about it when it comes to healing. And that is the second major function of your gut, is to filter and remove toxins or invaders or waste product, anything that which does not belong in the body. Your gut is actually designed in partnership with other organs like your liver to filter and remove these toxins, these unwanted particles, these infections or pathogens or waste products. It is designed to remove which does not belong in the body. And this is the place that we need to be working from, especially when we're talking about skin issues. You see, most people, when they're working with their gut as a whole, they think that they're lacking some sort of nutrient, right? Like, oh, I must need more probiotics or enzymes, or when we start to get into skin stuff, I must need more collagen, or, we start to get into these nutrients and, taking in all of these multivitamins and supplements, trying to supplement our way through our skin issues. But it's so much deeper, because remember, we actually have to be focusing on the second function, which is focusing on what is in your body that does not belong there. And so when we're looking at skin issues, it actually strips right back real simply to there's something inside your body that does not belong there, and your body is trying to push it out through the skin. Okay, now why might that happen? Well, we have to look at a few different things. One of the main reasons that happens is we're not eliminating properly through other drainage pathways. Right? Like our bowels, your kidneys, so we're either going to poop it out or pee it out, are designed to help you filter out your toxins. That is, the basic foundation of drainage in your body. And if those functions are not working properly, if you're not pooping properly, if you're not pooping 2 to 3 times per day, and eliminating elbow to wrist in total quantity for the day, then you are essentially reabsorbing toxins back into the blood system. But on the flip side too, if you have diarrhea, you might be thinking, I have nothing left in me then. But when we are, letting out loose stools, especially watery stools, we're actually just flushing out minerals. We are going to eliminate some toxins, but we're not properly scraping and cleaning the intestinal walls, bulking and forming a poop, so that we can flush out any unwanted toxins and pathogens. So even if you're struggling with diarrhea or looser stools, or you're just constantly going to the bathroom, there's still ineffective elimination going on, and you are likely still reabsorbing toxins into the blood system. So when we look at these, drainage pathways, you've probably heard me talk about this before, but drainage pathways are like the pipelines through our body that we send toxins through to be eliminated. And when those pipelines become clogged up or kind of semi-clogged up, then again, all of those toxins start to back up in the system, in the body. So your drainage pathways are going to be, again, we talked about your bowels. That's the first drainage pathway. Next up, we have your liver and your bile ducts. Then we have your lymphatic system, organs and tissues, and cells. And it works like a funnel. And oftentimes when we're clogged up on the bottom part of the funnel, again, think your bowels or liver and bile ducts, then all of the other systems get backed up. And so when this occurs, remember, your body is designed to flush out, your gut is working to flush out that which does not belong. It will start to divert those toxins and send it elsewhere. And this is why we end up experiencing skin issues. It will start to push it through the skin. And so that's something that we have to remember when we're looking at skin issues, is it's often not a lack of nutrient. It's the presence of something toxic. And so really what we want to start to focus on is, how can I support my body in flushing out these toxins that it's working to get out of my system? And I'm going to give you some really tangible, actionable tools that you want to focus on at the end here to help support your drainage, to help get these toxins moving out of your body. But we first really want to go back to, again, let's talk about this side hatch. So when we're talking about skin issues, as I mentioned at the beginning, there's a whole bunch of different types of skin issues you might be experiencing. It could be, acne or pimples or just breakouts on your face. Sometimes we'll have clients that have like eczema kind of ridden through their scalp or in different parts of their body, their hands. It could be something like psoriasis, which tends to impact things like the elbows. You might be getting butt cheek acne, right? Who here? Oh, no one's going to volunteer. But are you getting pimples on your butt cheeks, right? These are all examples of different ways that skin is going to be impacted. And each of these locations can tell us different things, right? So when we're looking at the face, for example, breaking out on the forehead and chin especially, these are hot spots for the liver. As we talked about, the liver is a really common drainage pathway that needs support. And so if you're breaking out chin, forehead, let it be known that you need to support your liver. If we are supporting, if we're breaking out in something that's more eczema related, this is typically just full body needing, all the drainage needs support. So we're talking bowels, liver, lymphatic system, and especially cells. All of these drainage pathways need support. When we're dealing with something like psoriasis, this is typically called psoriasis of the liver, because the liver is the weakest drainage point, and that is the system that you want to support. Okay, so these are all examples of which drainage pathways you want to focus on depending on the location of where these rashes are popping up. I'm going to touch on actually one other, and that's going to be if you're getting armpit or under the breast or in the bikini line, that red, raw, sore, sometimes itchy rash, then this can sometimes be bacteria related, like yeast related, like candida. And we really want to be focusing on full system drainage, but we also need to focus on removing that which doesn't belong, and that is in this case an infection. And so this is the level we want to work on when we're talking about skin. Now, let's talk about some real actionable things. Remember, the whole thing we've talked about here is your body is trying to push out that which doesn't belong, so toxins, pathogens, bacteria, waste products, infections, trying to push it out typically through the bowels, liver, lymph, okay? So eventually it works down the drainage funnel and you're either gonna poop it out or pee it out. If your body's not keeping up with that, even if you're pooping regularly, if you're getting skin issues, you need to visit your drainage pathways. So if you're not getting all those toxins out via poop or pee, then your body is going to divert, open the side hatch and be like, we need to evacuate these toxins. Our toxin bucket is overflowing, and it's going to start to push it out the skin. Okay, so the first thing that you have to do is stabilize your poops. So if you are on the constipation end of the spectrum or you're on the diarrhea end of the spectrum, either way, if you are not pooping 2 to 3 times per day, elbow to wrist, that's the first place you need to start. So the first step is stabilize your poops. If you're someone who's struggling with constipation or diarrhea, I want you to drop a poop emoji in the comments below, and I will send you our free perfect poop guide. We have proven protocols that we give to our clients inside our Love and Trust Your Guts program that help them stabilize their poops while they're working on the damage, deficiencies, and infections in their gut. So we're going to help you get your poops stabilized right away. That's step number 1. Okay, now, and let me just say here, some of you guys are hanging out with me. You've been hanging out for a while. You've downloaded the guide and you did nothing with it. Go back and do something with it, okay? This is the first step. You must start working on stabilizing your poops, okay? The second thing that you must start doing, and you've probably never heard this before, so I want you to pay attention, is you must sweat. Now, I'm not talking about go kick your ass at the gym. I mean, if you have the bandwidth to go to the gym and work out, then by all means, do so. But most of our clients, when they come into our program, are experiencing fatigue and exhaustion, among many other symptoms, and they don't have the capacity to be lifting weights or doing intense cardio. We're talking about maybe they have it in them to go for short walks, or maybe some stretching, maybe some yoga. I'm not even talking hot yoga. They don't even have it in them to do hot yoga, right? And so when I say sweating, I'm talking about your body's ability to sweat, and we'll talk about some tools in a second, doing activity, right? One thing that we see really commonly when drainage pathways are clogged is that people can't sweat. And so if you're someone who is going to the gym and you notice you don't sweat when you go to the gym, that's a problem. right? I go to my gym and I'm drenched, I'm dripping, it's all over the floor, it's on the equipment, I'm wiping everything down after, and everyone's looking at me like I'm the crazy one, and I'm looking at all them being like, you need to work on your drainage pathways, because you're lifting like hundreds of pounds over there and you're not even breaking a bead of sweat. That's a problem. That means that all of these toxins are building up in your system, right? So you must be able to sweat. And if you find that you struggle to sweat, you really got to work on activating sweat. My favorite way to do this is in a sauna. And most people don't have it in their budget to go buy a wood sauna. I know I didn't when I first started investing in saunas. And I'm a huge fan of portable saunas. There's two different ones that I have. I have a sauna blanket, and I also have a sauna tent. They live permanently in my office. It's actually set up right behind you guys in the camera, and we use it regularly. Now, the benefits of being in a sauna is that it's going to help to warm up your heat shock proteins. And this is really going to create this like pushing effect where it warms you up from the inside out and helps to push toxins out of the skin. Now, you might be thinking, but Alyssa, you just said my skin issues are because my body's trying to push out toxins from the skin. Yes, your body is overburdened by toxins. And so it's not that pushing it out of the skin is bad, it's that your toxic load is too high. And so we want to help your body get your toxic load down by improving your poops and getting you eliminating that way, but also improving your elimination via your skin. And so when we see individuals who have skin issues, drainage pathways are often clogged. Although their body's trying to push out toxins via the skin, they're usually not great sweaters. We can put them in a sauna for 20 to 30 minutes and they're not sweating at all. And so if you're someone who has skin issues, it would be interesting for you to see, am I able to sweat? And so the reason, again, we love the sauna is because it's going to heat it from the inside out and help push things out. It's going to help with reducing inflammation, improving circulation, improving your drainage pathways. And alternatively, if you guys actually, I'll say, are looking for what saunas I use, I've got, again, the two. They're different price points depending if you're doing blanket or the tent. You can find that on my website, or just let me know in the comments. I can link that up here as well. But alternatively, if that's not even in your budget, then you can go to something like a hot Epsom salt bath. I will say, although it's still going to help to potentially stimulate sweat, it doesn't quite heat us up and activate those heat shock proteins like a sauna would. But it's still a great way to help to work to stimulate sweat in your body. So you need a nice hot bath. I like Epsom salts for the purpose of adding in some magnesium and gentle detox, helping to gently draw out toxins. And you're really going to, again, want to focus on getting a bead of sweat going on your face. A little tricky when you're in the bathtub and your whole body is wet. But you want to, that's another option is getting your sweat on in the bathtub. Okay, so sweating. And most of our clients are getting their sweats on anywhere from 2 to 3 times per week. And that's what I would encourage you to start working on as well, alongside getting you pooping. Okay, now the third thing that you really want to work on when you're tackling these toxins and supporting your skin is targeting the toxins and infections specifically that are present for you. And this is where functional testing is going to be important, so you can determine what is even in your body. Do you have mycotoxins from mold? Are there certain heavy metals? Do you have mercury? Do you have aluminum? Do you have uranium? What toxins are present? Is there glyphosate from the foods that we're eating? What are you finding in the way of toxins inside your body, so we can target those specifically and then take supplements to help target and pull those things out? Alternatively is infections. What infections are present? We talked about one earlier. Do you have candida, for example, that is creating some of the rashing, itchy? That's a big one that's behind eczema as well. And we need to potentially target that, right? Another one that's a really common infection that causes skin issues is parasites. Always when I see skin issues, we go to drainage, parasites, and then look in to see if there is candida potentially present. in the way of toxins. And so you really want to identify which toxins and which infections are present for me, so that on top of stabilizing my bowels and my sweats and improving my body's function to eliminate these things on its own, it's likely that you're going to need to also add in some support initially to help get those things out. So I hope this has been so helpful. We've just done the deep dive into all things skin and all the different types of skin issues that you might be experiencing. If you're someone who is having issues with your skin and your gut is irritable and you're just not sure what may be contributing here, send me a message. Let me know where your skin issues are, what it's presenting like, and any other gut symptoms that might be present. And we can kind of narrow down what drainage pathways may be the culprit. And we can talk about how we can best support you. All right? So let me know if you have any other questions in the comments, and we will see you next week. Bye, guys.